Okay, we're live on YouTube right now, and hey everybody, this is Billy Bezoni, and sometimes Crazy Willie comes out. It's a Saturday afternoon, and I'm just here to say hello to everybody, and hope everybody's doing well. This is a live broadcast. Um, Gee, Bill, you sure got pretty eyes. Well, thank you very much. See, that's Crazy Willie right there. Hope everybody's doing well right now on a Saturday. A few stories to tell. This week, actually last Friday, my dad ended up in the hospital here in Cherokee, and he's been there ever since. And today is the Saturday after that, so he's been in the hospital for over a week. And I'm not quite sure. I haven't got a hold of my sister yet to ask when Dad was going to get out. So please keep praying for my dad, and thank you very much. Everybody was asking. I've had a lot of people ask about what's wrong with your dad, and there's a couple of things going on right now. He's having trouble with his pancreas right now, and this is the second time in like 4 or 5 months. He was in the hospital in November with pancreatitis and all that stuff, and then he's having some problems right now with dementia, and it was really bad the other night, Sunday. Sunday night when I was there, he had a tough night, and it's hard to see your dad like that, or your parents, or somebody you love like that. And it was tough to see my dad that way, acting that way. But I got to remember is we're not getting any younger. We're all we're all dying second by second, day by day, hour by hour, year by year. My dad is 73. He's going to be 74. My mom is 72. And my mom's been in the hospital a lot lately too. So it's been a struggle here in the last 3 or 4 months for my parents, my family. But I got some dirt from see that? Got some dirt from my motorcycle getting it out. But anyway, it's always hard to see a loved one suffering from dementia and all that stuff, and Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, and as we get older, our bodies break down, and it really sucks. Our health, starts to decline, but what we got to remember is that that's the way God has planned it. God created us in His image. And back in the biblical days, some people were living to be 965 years old. Some people are living to be 900 years old. Thank God He changed that, right? Who wants to be here for 965 years? I know I don't. And I tell people, I said, I always can spot people that are truly Christians and have Jesus in their heart. I can tell. And you say, how? And I say, well, I can tell by the way they talk, the way they carry themselves, and when they start talking about, if they want to talk about Jesus, if they want to talk about God. Some people are afraid of death. Death is a hard thing. Death is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about because they're not quite sure what's going to happen after this life. And I can tell you this, that if you have Jesus in your heart and you have a relationship with Jesus, you know where you're going. You're going back home. We don't belong here. Okay? We don't belong here. This is not our home, so don't make it your home. Be in this world. Don't be of this world. Don't get caught up in the material things. Don't get caught up in the money situation. Yes, it's nice to have money. It's nice to have a new home. It's nice to have a nice home. It's nice to have a great vehicle. It's nice to have a nice motorcycle. But see, we can't take that stuff with us when we go back home. And the sad thing about it is, not everybody's going back home. I was talking to my dad, and my dad and I were having a nice little chat the other night in his hospital room. And it just seemed like Dad always went back to normal, acting normal, when we started talking about Jesus, and we started talking about God, and we started talking about home. And Dad got mad on Sunday, saying he wanted to go home. And he got really, really mad. Well, the nurses came in, they brought some EMTs up because they thought they were going to control my dad and try to calm him down. Well, it wasn't going to work. So the nurses walked out, the EMTs walked out, and I was praying to God. I was saying, Jesus, help me in this situation. And that night, my sister had went to Kmart and got a Rubik's Cube because my dad always has to do something with his hands. You know, the Rubik's Cube, you're like this, and you had one when you were a little kid. So I said to Dad, he was standing in the corner, he goes, and I said something. I said, Dad, calm down. And he says, you do not tell me what to do. Get the hell out of here. And I knew that wasn't my dad. And that's why I didn't get up and leave, because I wasn't going to leave my dad hanging like that. I would never leave my dad like that. So I said to him, I said, Dad, why don't you come sit down here on the couch and let's work on the Rubik's Cube. I said, you need to breathe. And he started, I said, breathe. And he's going, I love my dad dearly. We had our moments. There was a point in my life where I didn't care to see my dad. I didn't care if he was alive or if he was dead. That's sad to say, but I'm not going to get into the story because it was a long, long time ago. And I carried this anger with me for a long, long time. And I carried it with me. I kept having these dreams about anger towards my dad. Okay? So one day, I was at work. And I was watching the video of Mike and Mechanic's living years. And where he's talking about he wished he could have told him in the living years his dad had died. Later on in the song, he says, you know, I think I called a spirit later that same year. And his baby's newborn tears. And I was watching that video and I heard that voice saying, you need to tell your dad how you feel. So I called my dad and I told him how I feel. He goes, I never thought you felt that way, Bill. And I said, I had some anger build up towards you, Dad, and I told him why. And I said, someday you're going to find out that it wasn't me who took what was missing. I said, someday you're going to find out that wasn't me. And I said, I had some anger because when I graduated from high school, I had no idea what I was going to do. I had no idea what I was going to do. One day my parents said to me, my mom says, Bill, you want to come out here? Me and your father want to talk to you. And I went out there to the kitchen and they said, we've talked to Carla and she can get you a job at Hardee's. And Tammy's going to let you live, Tammy and Doug are going to let you live with them. And we're going to move you out next weekend, this coming weekend. And I was just flabbergasted. You got to be kidding me. That's the first time I've ever been out on my own. And I didn't have a vehicle. How in the heck am I supposed to get around? Well, I had a bicycle back then. I used to ride my bicycle everywhere. Make a long story short, I built up a lot of anger with that because they just booted a man out. Just go, up, go, Bill. The main thing is people are going to hurt you. People are going to say rude things to you. People are going to make fun of you. People are going to rub you the wrong way. But the main thing is this. We gotta learn to forgive people. And if one thing that God has taught me, Jesus has taught me through this whole journey, and I was reborn back in December of 1991. Forgiveness. You gotta forgive people. You gotta love people. Stop being so angry at people. But you're saying, hey, Bill, but they hurt me. Yes, I know they hurt me. My dad moved me out of the house, and when I didn't know what I was going to do, I had to ride a bicycle in the middle of winter from one end of the town of Cherokee all the way up to Hardee's. You know where Hardee's is at? I had to do that. They just kicked me out of the house. I didn't know what I was going to do. I was working at Hardee's for $3 an hour. I had some resentment build up towards my dad. I had some resentment, maybe just a little towards my mom, but not as much as my dad. So I called him up on the phone one day, and I said to him, I've been mad at you, Dad, and I'm going to tell you why. And I told him. What I said to him is between he and I. And I said, all I want you to know is this. And I love you, Dad. And I was crying. He goes, Bill, I didn't even know you were mad at me. I said, I know you did. Nobody knew that I was mad at you. I forgive my dad. Because my dad's not perfect. I'm not perfect. They're not perfect. Forgiving people is hard. But you gotta learn how to do it. You gotta forgive people, because if you don't, you're gonna keep carrying that anger. And it's gonna kill you. It's gonna eat you up inside. It's gonna just drag you down every day. So what I'm telling you is, if you have something you've been holding on to, a grudge, and you can't forgive somebody, forgive them, okay? Because life is too short to keep carrying that around. Forgive people, because they're going to make mistakes and they're going to hurt you. Love them, regardless of what they do to you. Pray for the ones that persecute you. Love your enemies. Okay? Any more people are walking around so mad about everything. They have anger issues. They're mad at people. And 2 weeks ago, I was threatened by somebody on Facebook for putting something on Facebook about a comment I had made. And the guy told me to meet him at his house, that he wanted to fight me. I'm like, come on, man. I'm 46 years old. You know, I'm a lover, not a fighter. I preach the word. I'm a mess with I want to fight you. He comes back with, I hate Bible thumpers. So that's what I'm labeled, as a Bible thumper, because I love Jesus and I love God. Is that how I'm labeled? Because I put my trust in God, I put my trust in Jesus. That's our problem these days. That's our biggest problem these days in America. And we wonder why our world is taking a dump right in front of us. Sorry about the language, but it's true. We wonder why this world has gone crazy. It's because we have taken God out of everything that we have done. Out of the schools, out of our workplace, out of our... Who knows, maybe we've even taken God out of our churches. You know, a lot of churches, not saying my church, but there's a lot of churches want your money. There's a lot of crooked pastors out there. There's a lot of crooked ministers out there. They want you for one thing, and that's your money. These TV preachers, not saying Billy Graham. I like Billy Graham. Joel Osteen. Who am I thinking of? Who's the other one? Kenneth Copeland. Jesse Duplantis. Yes, I've learned a lot from those guys by watching their videos. TD Jakes. But look how they're living. Look at their houses. Their airplanes. They've got jet airplanes. Look how many people go to their church. And look how they're living. They're making a killing out of this, out of us. Because we think the only way we can get into heaven is to give $100 in tithing. Think we can buy our way into heaven. You cannot buy your way into heaven. And it's sad. You can't do that. But I can tell you what you can do. It reads in the Bible. The only way to the Father is through me, through Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ is the only way into heaven. So when you're thinking about tithing $100 to some TV preacher because he needs to put that in his bank account, think again. They're already living high off the hog. Joel Osteen, well, I'm sure is probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. But look at the money he's breaking in because of people like us. You know, we watch them do their little thing on TV and we're like, oh, wow, Kenneth Copeland, he's a man you gotta watch. He's a good preacher, but I tell you what, Jesse Duplantis, he knows how to talk. But see, these are the TV preachers that are making a killing off people like you and me because we want to buy our way into heaven. You can't buy your way into heaven. Stop sending these TV preachers money. Man, don't do it. If you're going to give money to someone, give it to the homeless. Give it to a charity. Give it to your own church that you go to. Don't be giving it to TV preachers for crying out loud, man. Don't do it. They're a bunch of money-hungry people, and they wanna prey on the poor. They want to make you think that, hey, if I give $100, Jesus is gonna love me. Plant that seed. Plant what seed? My last $100 to put it in your bank account? But anyway, this is live. This is supposed to be live. So if you're thinking anything, like, I was just trying this out because I wasn't for sure if this was going to work. So I can do some more live stuff. But so if you're thinking what I'm doing was, I was just pretty much testing this out. It wasn't working on Mozilla Firefox, but it was working on an Internet Explorer. So anyway, this is live, and I was just testing this thing out, and I want to tell everybody that thank you for the prayers for my dad this week, since last Friday. I got to find out how Dad's coming home. He was still kind of confused. I went and saw him on Thursday night. He was still kind of saying some things, but that's part of the new meds they have him on. But I appreciate all the prayers and the thoughts, and I'll keep you informed about my dad. And I know they got to make up an appointment, head down to Omaha to have the pancreas, or I don't know what. I don't know the whole story yet, but I appreciate your guys' thoughts and prayers, and thank you for being my Facebook friend and watching my videos. And my dad and me, every time we get together, especially at the hospital, we talk about God and Jesus. He says, my dad says to me, I've learned a lot from you. And I said, well, it's not from me, it's from God and Jesus. And he goes, I tell people that Billy's for real. And I'm like, it's not me that's for real, it's God that's for real. It's Jesus that's for real, not me. I'm just a messenger. And I hope I can keep, giving a message to people not to give up. I fight my demons just like you fight your demons. So don't think for a minute just because, I do what I do. Actually, it's harder some days doing what I'm doing, is giving the message to people, because the devil is coming at me a million miles an hour. Other than that, thank you for watching. And if you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. And other than that, hope you're having a great day. And if you have any questions, need any help with anything, spiritually, whatever it is, you can get a hold of me on my Facebook. Add me as a friend on Facebook. Message through here, or my Hotmail is TheBezoniBoy@hotmail.com. So I'm going to end this, and I want to say thank you, and God bless, and everybody have a great day. And Easter's coming up next weekend, so tomorrow it is Palm Sunday. Anyway, God loves you, Jesus loves you, and I love you, and have a great, great day. Bye.